Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the City of Bettendorf Committee of the Whole meeting. Today is Monday, July 1st, 2024. It's 5:00 p.m. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to start with 3 consent agenda items, F, G, and H. They're a little different, so we'll take them one at a time, I believe. Is that how you want to do it, Mr. Hunt? For those items, we welcome our Community Development Director, Mr. Mark Hunt. Mark, thanks for being here. You have the floor.
Thanks, Your Honor. Yeah, we'll do them one at a time, just as they are on the agenda. So case 24036 is a site development plan at 4383 53rd Avenue. This is a site development plan change. So you've actually seen this site before, but there was a big enough change under our code that required this to come back through council. So here it is. The site development proposes one building containing 2 units for a restaurant. Ostensibly Hemispheres Bistro will be moving here. The site plan that was previously before you was similar, still had a restaurant, so really the uses are the same. We're just kind of changing the site, the size and location of the building a little bit. I'll get into those details here shortly. We always like to have alignment with future land use. Our plan is urban medium intensity in this case. That does allow for C1 zoning, which is in place. And the C1 zoning does allow for neighborhood restaurant use. And that is the neighborhood restaurant, Hemispheres Bistro that I just spoke of. So we have alignment with our plan and our code. Tough to see on the slide, I understand, but you have close-ups in your packets, I'm sure. Here's the site plan, kind of on the left-hand side of the screen. The building outline is here. It does include a patio portion kind of in gray. And the restaurant will take up, I'm going to say 2/3 of the building, this portion here. And it does include that patio area. This is reserved for retail or office or other commercial use allowed per code. 69 off-street parking spaces are required and is met. Access will only be on Ontario Drive. This is already in place, but you would never want, nor would you be able to enter the site from this location. Everything will come through Ontario Drive. Sidewalks are existing and will be preserved as well. A few other details. We've got dumpster storage here at this location. There's a transformer located here. All the stormwater is handled regionally, so we don't have stormwater detention on site. It is handled regionally for this entire subdivision. Here's your elevations of the building. The restaurant portion would cover this area. This doesn't show the patio extension, but you can imagine that being off to this side. And so these 2/3 of the building will be the restaurant piece here. The one other remaining third would be for future use. It just shows you the seating layout inside the restaurant. This was important for us as planners to do the calculate the parking. Maybe not so important at a council level, but I thought I'd show it to you anyway. And then we do have a rather large landscaping requirement, 21 tree factors. They actually exceed that. I think they put 21 just on the external edge of the property, but internally they have other tree factors, landscaping within the parking areas that does exceed that requirement of 21 tree factors. We have a positive staff review. We also were recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the Board of Adjustment had to give a special use permit for the outdoor service of alcohol, which did occur on June 13th. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Questions for Mark? We'll do Jerry, Frank.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have 2 questions. First one is sidewalk. Is there a piece of sidewalk connecting the sidewalk around the perimeter of the building to the other sidewalks, to the street sidewalks?
Yeah, I believe that's located here, this location.
And then sidewalk.
Okay.
Ontario all the way up.
Okay, I found it. Yeah, I didn't realize that. So, the second question is the walk-in cooler part of the building?
Is the walk-in cooler part of the building?
And I asked the question because, you know, down there, what is it, the Edison or something? They got that walk-in cooler there facing Devil's Glen that just looks like an add-on.
Yeah, I would say for the intents and purposes of this site plan, it is part of the building. It's part of the space that was designed. So yes, it's part of the building. From a building code perspective, I'm not sure I would say yes to that, but.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is there going to be any music, like bands or stuff like that on that outdoor patio?
Right
Or
now,
is it
that's,
just an eating patio?
right now it's more just a service patio. The restaurant here who's coming here is kind of a known entity and it's going to be the same style. But of course, any sound code violations would be subject to city enforcement.
Nick?
Thank you. Would, I guess, tacking on to Frank's question, would that require special use? From, if they wanted to do live music out on that patio? I'm trying to think of that corridor because of local residents or anything.
So right now, there's no special use permit for outdoor music, outdoor performance. That's not required by code. It's the alcohol service that requires a special use permit.
And then second, stylize of the building matching the sort of the feel that's out there on that south portion of 53rd. It's sort of hard to tell in the actual, these views here.
Yeah, so it's the shops, the Woodland is kind of a larger subdivision. I would say these are same builder, same developer. So I'm assuming he's going to build them within his own style of the rest of the development that he's developed. But we don't have a form-based code in place out there. So we don't have control over the elevation, the fenestration of the building. That's not under our code in this case. Downtown, we have that, and out in Utica, we have that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Other questions? Greg?
Thank you.
Adamson?
Is this the same folks that have the restaurant at 18th and 53rd? That's
Hemisphere, so it's the same chef.
same, okay.
Yeah,
I
same
was
chef.
just curious. And then how close is the outdoor patio to the nearest home, or apartment, whatever?
On the fly, and you got the whole width of 53rd Avenue, plus the setbacks, 100 feet, I could have to measure it for you, but
Across 53rd, yeah. What about,
South Ontario, so you have the width of Ontario, so that's probably 32, plus the setbacks, probably 50, 75. I mean, I could measure them, but I don't want to.
no, that's fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Greg? Jagger?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mark, Oak Street Tavern is just right across the driveway or however you're going to do this.
Yeah.
They have outdoor service. They have music pumping from the side of the building.
Yep.
Have we had any problems?
We've had, I'll say problems. We've had a few complaints early on. Those have died down. As far as police calls or problems like that, I'm not aware of them.
And I assume it's basically the same thing, just on the other side of the,
I would say it's similar, not the same. The purveyor of Hemisphere's Bistro is more of a fancy dining experience. And I think the outdoor patio is going to have kind of a kitchen element to it where you can see a meal being prepped and prepared. So I don't think that patio is going to be the same as the patio next door. It's a completely different vibe, at least with this purveyor.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mark? All right, then I'd like to entertain a motion that this remain on consent agenda as item F for consideration tomorrow evening.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll take it up tomorrow on consent as item F. Let's move to item G, please.
Item G is case 24042. It's Lot 1 FGA Holdings 4th Edition Site Development Plan. We're out here a lot. I'll orient you here quickly. It's easier to orient you now because we've got new aerial photos. So you can see where the Iron T golf location is. You can see where the other developments have gone in. So this photo in the background is of June 9th, I think. So it just makes this part of the presentation so much easier. Because before we were looking at cornfields underneath and trying to remember where everything was at. Tom Mappin is the applicant here. This is a site development plan for a car wash, vehicle wash. And that is, as I'll get into, an allowable use in our C3. Again, we have a plan that is community commercial. Community commercial allows C3 zoning, which is in place, and that C3 zoning does allow for a car wash. Again, just a kind of slide to orient you a little bit on where all of this is. Here's the proposed car wash, new hotel going up right here. Development to the north as well, and then you will recognize Competition Drive curving through the city. Here's your site plan. Not a ton to it. It is just a car wash. You have entrance only off of Competition Drive. You do have shared access easement to the property to the north so they can transit throughout the remainder of the property. 6 bays. One is a little larger for RV size. There are vacuums located along the parking area here. And that's also parking should you have customers that just want to park. But most of the parking will actually be stacking, so 5 stacked in the bays to come through. One of these, what looks like a bay, is actually a center mechanical room. So that's why there's only 6. I'm going to get access only off of Competition Drive. This dumpster location is here. And then the sidewalks are in place and will be preserved. Landscape plan is minimal for this type of development. They have the tree factors shown, 3 tree factors here. They'll also have some decorative taller shrubs and grasses just to block light and sound. Although the neighboring property is actually the side of the hotel, and that side of the hotel is where the staircase is. So it's not rooms. So kind of the end of the building, staircases, no rooms, no windows to speak of. There's some mechanicals, exterior mechanicals. So anywhere these vehicles are is pointing at the side of a hotel, of course, with Competition Drive in between. There's your aerial. The larger RV size booth is here. We do have a positive staff recommendation. We also have positive recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission. And we do have one restriction that the car wash is not to be used for semi-trucks or tractor trailers. That is a whole separate use that would not be allowed in this location. And the provider of this business is not interested in that as well and will sign the facility as such. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Questions for Mark? All right, I see none. I'd like to entertain a motion that this remain on consent for tomorrow night as consent G.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll take it up tomorrow as consent G. Let's move to consent H, please.
24045 is a case at 5515 Valley Drive, also a site development plan. Just to orient you a little bit, Belmont tees into Valley Drive here at the south end of Belmont, tees into Valley Drive, and then almost directly at the end of that T is the location of this proposed development. Right now, there is an existing garage, like a residential style garage really on the property. That's going to go away. They want to replace it with a 40 by 80 light industrial building with 2 contractor suites, or I would almost call them like workshops, kind of divided horizontally down the middle. There will be also live work dwellings, so the home office will be located. So the house will be converted into a home office where they'll have some residency going on, but also conducting the business related to the building here, the contractor condo here. There are, as you can see, adjacent some storage uses. So actually the shape and the size of the buildings will look different, although it's not convenience storage. They look fairly much similar. Quick review of the planning and zoning here. So we've got industrial future land use plan. We've got C3 zoning that C3 would allow this contractor condo to come in. And the live work is also an allowed use. Quick look at the site plan. Again, not much to see on this one. It would come off Valley Drive with an entrance here, parking pad in this location, and then 2 units divided long ways here in this 40 by 80 foot building. The house remains and becomes a live, work, or office and residency. Just kind of showing you basically the parking here required. We've got 4 parking spots available plus parking within the building, meets our code. No additional landscaping is required in this area. We do have a positive staff recommendation. We also had a positive referral from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Private dumpster collection will be provided if future tenants are producing increased refuse. So what we're saying is we're picking up the trash unless it becomes completely commercial, then we won't pick up the trash anymore.
Any questions for Mark? Yes, Nick.
So on this particular piece here with the private dumpster, I guess what does producing increased refuse mean? Do we have a definition of that? Because understanding it may not go to commercial, right? It may remain residential, but are we gonna pick up 8 garbage cans out there? I mean, at what point do we say you gotta,
So that's covered in our solid waste code. So what would be allowed to be picked up in the volume, total volume would be covered in our solid waste code. But really what's happening, kind of the details here, is the house is occupied by a 90-year-old woman who is not ready to move. And the property owner is gonna work with her and let her stay there. And then he'll probably convert it all to office space when she's ready to go. He's got a portion of it that is his office already. And then when she's no longer residing there, it'll just probably become all office space. So that's kind of the details.
that makes sense. Thank you.
Other questions? Jerry?
Thank you, Your Honor. A follow-up to that, but we're not going to be obligated to pick up all kinds of bulk waste from that storage unit, are we?
No, it'd be commercial. It's just for
Yeah.
the residential piece.
Okay, thank you.
Fencing
Lisa?
still in between the storage and then that residential.
I think there is fencing in place for the storage units. I think that's already there.
Okay, so that'll stay. All right.
I think there's a fence on the property line here, just about positive.
Okay.
Other questions? All right, I'd like to nope, we're good? All right, I'd like to entertain a motion this remain on tomorrow night's agenda as consent H for our consideration.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll take it up tomorrow's consent H. Are there any other remaining consent agenda items any particular council member would like to discuss at this time? Nick, then Jerry?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to call out the item B, the final pricing and everything came through for the Heatherstone Stream Bank. It looks incredible. The neighbors are incredibly happy out there. So now the only thing that's happening is when are we crossing the street to do it? So we'll manage that at a later time, but we appreciate all the help. It looks really good. So thank you.
Jerry?
Thank you, Your Honor. Item K, does recruitment of this police officer bring us up to full strength again? Very good.
Did we only have, out of 18 applicants, one that was qualified, or we just decide just to do one on the list?
So it goes through obviously the process of reviewing all the applicants to make sure that they meet the minimum qualifications. And once they meet the minimum qualifications, they have to attend the tests. And they don't always attend the physical agility. And if they do, they either pass or fail. And we ended up with just one through the whole process.
So when we have to hire again, then we'll just go through the whole process.
Correct.
This point.
And then my second question is item M for the alcohol license there. I noticed one particular facility on there. Are they in compliance? They are,
Yes.
okay. Very good. Glad to hear.
Other questions on consent? Anything else you want to discuss on consent?
Nope.
All right, let's entertain a motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We've approved our consent agenda. Any items to be added to tomorrow night's agenda by council? I have none at this time. Mine are at the beginning. It's City Hall. So thank you in advance for your indulgence. All right, if we have nothing further, then we'd like to enter the executive session for purposes of discussing the performance evaluation of our city attorney. Mr. Curran, would you like us to enter into executive session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 2151 sub I to have this discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, I do make that request.
Okay,
So moved.
all right. Do a roll call vote here, please. Michelle?
Adamson,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Jaeger,
Aye.
Nauman,
Aye.
Sexer,
Aye.
Baden,
Aye.
Palczynski.
All right, we will enter executive session. At this time, I'd like to vacate the room, empty the room, other than those who need to be here for the executive session. And I appreciate you all. We'll see you tomorrow night, if not before. Thanks for your good work. Perfect. There we go. We have exited executive session. I'd like to entertain a motion at the time. Councilmember Nauman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have, or I would like to make a motion that we direct staff to proceed as we discussed in executive session to increase the city attorney's salary by 6.5% effective today, July 1st, 2024.
Second.
All right. Do you want to call it, Michelle? Since we're back out. It's Palczynski, not Webster.
Adamson,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Jaeger,
Aye.
Nauman,
Aye.
Sexer,
Aye.
Baden,
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye. Yeah.
It's spelled Palczynski. It's pronounced Webster. Phonetically.
All right. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
Some of
Second.
We stand adjourned. Good work, people.
Good job.
7 o'clock.
Thank you.